Hi to all the viewers of Stetna Novice. We are here with Chris Tsangos. Hello.
Hello.
We are on SOF Festival, and Chris had the presentation today about Microsoft innovations in the future, right?
Right, yes. I had the keynote presentation. I'm the Consumer and Online Officer for Microsoft in Central Eastern Europe. And I found it very exciting being here today. There were a lot of creative ideas, a lot of exciting, a lot of buzz around the internet. And my presentation was mostly about the internet because I think it's the most important thing that's happening today.
Yeah. So can you present yourself for our viewers? What do you do with Microsoft? What are you doing now?
Okay. I worked in technology now for 20 years, based out of London most of the time. I then moved to Greece and I was the general manager of Microsoft in Greece. And when the time came to change jobs, I thought that the most exciting thing that's happening is consumer and online, because everything today is centering around the consumer and the web. So I think these two are the most exciting areas of the company, and I decided to take a lead role in that.
Cool. Can you give us some insights on how is it to work for Microsoft? You travel a lot, you said?
Yeah, it's a very demanding company. We do a lot of traveling. But at the same time, it's a very exciting company. We spend, I don't know if your viewers are aware of this, but Microsoft is spending more than any other company in the world on research and development. It's in fact $9.5 billion. And this means that there's a lot of new technologies, a lot of them around the internet that are coming to the market. And therefore it can be sometimes a little bit exhausting, but at the same time always very exciting to go around the countries and talk about all the latest services and what we're doing.
Cool. So can you tell us, how do you see the future of the web?
I think the web is only just beginning. It's the first time in the history of mankind that people can communicate so easily, that we can share ideas and products and services. I think it's the phenomenon that's changing everything. And for example, if we compare internet and television, I believe internet will become more important than television as we go forward. We're already seeing that in terms of the percentage of the time, TV is around 39%, internet today is 37%, so more or less equal. And we think that as time goes by, internet will continue to grow and TV will become more the device that we use for the big news, you know, like a big game or the big news on TV. And most of the other things are going to happen interactively through the internet. And the interesting thing is that in the beginning, internet was all about the PC. But we expect that in the next 5 years, the PC will be something like 50% of accessing the internet, and the rest 50% will be spread between mobile phones, tablets, digital television sometimes, a variety of means. So we think that there will be like a 3-screen strategy, which is mobile phones, PCs and digital TVs, and whatever we build is going to be available through all the devices. And we try to develop everything on a common platform so that companies can very easily switch between the devices without having to rewrite the code and spend a lot of money and time in building the same services.
So where do you see the Central and Eastern Europe in this timeline of the web development of the web? Are we close behind the Western countries? Or?
I think so. Central and Eastern Europe has some interesting characteristics. First of all, the population of the web is much younger, so it means that there's a lot more activity and a lot more energy and a lot more socializing. And the other interesting thing is that because those markets are not so big, that the big companies are not yet dominating those markets. So there's a lot of very interesting local players in every country, in Slovenia too, that have a very important share in things like search and mail and social networking. And that gives the internet in CE a very local flavor. Which is very unique and it's very interesting, because instead of talking to the big multinationals, you talk to strong local companies, which is it's a good thing.
Is Slovenia developed in this way, web?
Yes, the percentage of the web population is on the same average as Western Europe in Slovenia.
Oh, that's cool. So we are not far behind them. We are just we are going with them.
Not at all. Not at all. There's a lot of exciting things happening. And it's interesting to see that also in Slovenia the percentage of advertising budget that's going towards the web is increasing. And it has been happening through the crisis as well.
Who will be controlling the informations in the future? The user or big companies, global companies like Microsoft, Google and the others?
I believe the big companies are going to be the channel. The information is going to be generated by the user. And this is the trend that we're seeing, both in terms of news, in terms of feedback for products, in terms of social networking, people talking to each other. As time goes by, the largest percentage share of the information is generated by the user. So I think the internet is a highly democratic phenomenon. I think there's a lot of companies like Microsoft, like Google, and many others that want to aggregate some of that content, want to make some relationship between what people are interested in and advertising. But the most important thing is that the power is moving back to the individual, and that's a very exciting trend.
Now that we talked about these big countries, I don't know if you know the story about Google in China and the latest news that what's happening. How does this affect Microsoft in China?
The decision, I think it's a very interesting debate. It's a very difficult decision to make for any company. Microsoft decided to continue investing. We believe that the best way to contribute towards modern China is by being there. But I respect and we respect everybody's business strategy on that. We just think that by staying close to the market, we have a better opportunity to influence the developments rather than pull out.
Let's talk about applications a bit. Web applications or desktop applications?
That's very interesting, yes. Well, it depends how you use those applications. If you are a consumer, I think a lot of the applications on the web are getting a lot more exciting, a lot more stable than they were in the past. If you work in an enterprise environment where safety and security is much more important, then probably applications on each machine still make a lot of sense, especially if those applications are very heavy and therefore the local processing power is important for them. So I think we're going to live in a hybrid world. You know, there's going to be some applications in the data centers, some applications in the laptops, and some applications up there in the cloud.
Ask yourself a question.
Well, I can tell you one interesting thing to share with you is the development of the internet assets that we're building within the company. So, for example, we're finding that Hotmail is getting very popular. It's now the #1 mail service globally. We're also seeing a great response to our MSN portals, the #1 in every country in Europe. And now we're reaching 400 million people through those portals. And it's interesting to also to see how Messenger develops, instant messenger, because it seems that the very broad social networking happens through Facebook. But if you look at the latest statistics of Facebook, every person has about 100 contacts, between 100 and 150 contacts. But the people that they talk to regularly are typically 2 or 3. So our messenger service very much positions to keep you in touch with the people that you really care about. And therefore we think that it's a complementary service to Facebook, and it's the best way to talk to the people that you really care and you really have in your life. And there's a lot more things coming down the pipe. There's I don't know if you know about Project Natal.
No.
That's a very interesting project that has the PC has a sensor that understands who you are and interacts with you. And the amount of artificial intelligence that's gone behind it now is really impressive. So you can play games and you can actually even have a person inside the computer that talks to you like they know you. So it's like your virtual friend. So there's a lot of very exciting technologies. In fact, there is a very nice video I can show you on that, and perhaps we can share with your viewers.
Of course we will.
And thanks for the interest, and I think we're very excited about all the things that are about to come.
Thank you very much for having a talk with us.
Thank you.
Hope we will see you as soon as possible back to Slovenia.
Yes.
Another presentation.
It's a beautiful country.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.